Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out the video. Now, this video is going to be talking about David Lemieux versus Hassan Ndam taking place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which is an electric place to watch a boxing fight. I was just there somewhat recently for Sergey Kovalev versus Jean Pascal. Great atmosphere, and Montreal and Quebec are the boxing hub of Canada. They have the best amateur programs, the best fighters, and the people there are the most passionate in Canada for the sport of boxing. So, great place to see a fight. Now, let's talk about Hassan Ndam and what he brings to the table in this matchup. So, Ndam is a guy, when you watch him fight, he's got good footwork. He has a lot of movement. He's a guy who has speed, very good jab, and a piston like right hand. Now, Ndam, he did a very nice job in his fight against Curtis Stevens and moving around the ring and doing his type of game plan in that fight. Very technical boxer, and he's a guy who can frustrate a lot of fighters. And 160 pounds, I believe he's one of the most skilled in terms of boxing ability in that division, in my opinion. Now, moving on to David Lemieux. When you look at David Lemieux, my opinion, the second biggest puncher in the middleweight division. He's a guy who has nice uppercuts, vicious left hook, also has a very solid right hand as well. And he's a guy who will work the body. And in his last fight, I have to say, I've been watching David Lemieux for a number of years. And I definitely thought that was the best conditioned David Lemieux that I've ever seen, in my opinion. Lemieux, earlier on in his career, he had a knack for being a 6 round fighter, being a guy who definitely had a lot of power early on, but he definitely showed in the Rubio fight. He definitely slowed down in that matchup. But when he fought Rosado, he was still banging late in that fight, and his power was very good. So I was quite impressed with what David Lemieux did in the Rosado fight, and I definitely thought his conditioning was up to par. And he's a very dangerous fighter. He's a guy, when he gets you on the ropes, he's just absolutely vicious. Go back and watch some of his highlight tapes or some of his fights, like Fernando Guerrero, even Rosado. Just when he gets you on the ropes, he's very accurate. So Lemieux, very dangerous fighter overall, and he's a guy definitely, I think, down the road we may see him in Montreal versus Gennady Golovkin if everything works out. And another thing about David Lemieux, when you watch some of his fights, he puts a lot of his weight into those punches. That's what makes him so effective. Sometimes he'll miss bad when he does that, but man, when he hits you with all that body weight coming up, you better look out. It's crazy. Anyways, my opinion on this fight, who I give the advantage in this matchup to. So I would have to give the advantage to Hassan Ndam in being he has better movement. He is actually the better technical boxer of the two, better footwork in my opinion than Lemieux possesses, and also I'd give him the speed advantage. Now, where I'd give David Lemieux the advantage, much bigger puncher. David Lemieux also has a better chin, and I also believe that David Lemieux, in my opinion, works the body better than Hassan Ndam does. Those are just some of the advantages I give David Lemieux in this matchup. And I think that the key for David Lemieux in this fight is he needs to cut off the ring and work the body early. And another thing is Hassan Ndam, he needs to do in this fight, use his jab, use his movement, move around the ring. Throughout the fight, he's going to have to be extremely active and in very good shape, which he generally always is. So that shouldn't be an issue. But I go back to that Peter Quillen fight. I know Ndam has improved, but Quillen dropped him, I believe it's 6 times in that fight. And David Lemieux is a bigger puncher than Peter Quillen is. In my opinion, I think David Lemieux takes out Hassan Ndam, who has improved, mind you, since that Peter Quillen fight. But I just think David Lemieux catches him at some point of this fight, especially works that body early. I see Lemieux stopping Hassan Ndam while getting him on the ropes. That's my opinion for the fight, guys. I think it's going to be a highly interesting fight. And also another advantage that Lemieux has in this fight, he's fighting in Montreal. Montreal gives hometown favoritism to some fighters. I've seen that in the past. So definitely I believe Lemieux, that's a big advantage for him in this fight. It's just like when you fight a guy in the UK, you see that as well. So that's definitely my opinion for the fight. David Lemieux winning by a late stoppage in a highly technical bout of two different styles. You get the big power puncher, the aggressive fighter versus a technical speed fighter who likes to move around the ring. So interesting fight. We're going to have to see who implements their game plan the best, and that's the one who's going to be victorious in this matchup. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning into the video. Once again, I appreciate it.